Welcome to another episode of Car Stories. We're doing an impromptu Car Stories episode here with Nick, Click ID. Thank you for kind of taking the time and doing this with us.
Absolutely. You told me you were in the city, so I had to scoot up from Niagara to come see you.
That's amazing. So he's got a G87 M2, and we've kind of like sort of bounced ideas off of each other in terms of what we're doing. He's one of the first guys to have the auto ID kit. So I was kind of falling behind a bit.
We had that MPAC incident where I was almost going to put mine on yours because I already had a kit on mine.
Yeah, I'm like, can we take it off for a few shots? Either way, his G87 M2 is pretty awesome. It's pretty epic. The stuff he's done to the interior and the exterior. So in this episode of Car Stories, let's go see his car, learn about his journey to the G87 M2 and what all he's done with it. So let's get to it.
Yeah, come along.
All right, Nick, where do we start?
I think we just start with the overall car. I've always wanted like an E46 CSL.
Yeah.
There was like a handful of them that came through that were Laguna on Laguna and manual. That's what I've always wanted. So pretty much always had that vision. I wanted something that was rear wheel drive, manual, CSL trunk. Luckily enough, Alpha N made this. Chris Divergent actually helped me out getting this one. It used to be his. Following through, we have the R44 diffuser, Grail exhaust that's all the way from the Cats.
Sounded pretty good.
It's pretty loud.
Yeah.
But it's legal with their Cats, so
that's awesome.
It's a great little system. They've got planned there, and just the materials they use, it doesn't sound as raspy or tinny. It sounds pretty good. Coming around the other side, we went to Auto ID. You briefly mentioned that. We got the TRE side skirts,
nice.
Front splitter that you'll see in a couple seconds. I upgraded the brakes to PSI brake pads just to kind of keep the brake dust down. I haven't washed these wheels in probably 3 weeks, so they look pretty good. Yeah. They're sitting on P4Ss that are wrapped around a VT forged wheel. It's my friend Andy's company, a really good guy. Coming through, kind of get to see the Laguna wrap. We went pretty thorough with it. I didn't do jams. I just thought that was a bit excessive. Through the front, we went with the Alpha N grills, TRE lower.
Those look really cool.
These guys?
Yeah, the Alpha N.
They give a nice little distinct look. Typically with like the F bodies, they were the vertical slot. So it was kind of refreshing to see somebody bring in a horizontal slot. I saw these and immediately I was like, this is what the car needs to kind of make it less polarizing, kind of take away a little bit of the complexity. Same thing like lower inserts. Those are M Performance. Suspension wise, we have the car lowered on KW height adjustable springs. And she's been to Finland. She's had her time over there, but
wait, tell me more about Finland.
Yeah, so we unlocked the ECU, so it can run an E50 blend. I've got a custom tuned by Cedar on here, so we're running 2 maps. There's a 94 pump map, and then there's an E50 map. So wow, it keeps things a little bit interesting in this guy, but I can't put anything down. It's a slow spec.
Well, let's take on a look inside.
Yeah, come on, I'll show you. So this is probably my favorite part of the interior itself. Really wanted to go the extra mile with this one. I'm still missing my steering wheel. Carbon Held is sending me one of those, but I reached out to a company out in Germany that is one of the larger suppliers of Recaro. They helped me get these ones. And they were also nice enough to do some custom inserts for me. So I did M Performance or Hurricane Vintage. So it really kind of ties into the E46 CSL feel. Complements the threading on the seatbelt. Even in the doors, you have the
yeah, that's true, eh?
The tricolor, which is really, really nice.
Does the stitching glow up as well?
It does. No, I wish it did. I wish it did. And I did lose like the M2 insignia in the headrest that lights up. But other than that, just parts catalog for M Performance. Armrest, I did Rogue Engineering short shifter, rear shifting mount. PTB racing clutch. I&D made that shift knob for me, so they actually took the Alcantara and the M Performance, and
That's pretty cool.
they glued it. They put it together.
I might have to take a look at it myself for mine.
One of my favorite mods in the car.
How does that change the overall driving?
Honestly, it makes it a much more engaging vehicle. There's a couple specific modifications that I've made that I think everybody who has a manual G87 3X, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
If it's manual, get rid of your CDV valve. It's really going to allow you to get through the gears a lot quicker. It's a much more rewarding experience. The short shifter, it just feels fun. It's not a necessity, but it feels fun. And then getting rid of the stock shifter that's a bit large and lethargic, I think this is a good fit. But
that's awesome. We've, when we do these episodes in the past, we kind of ask about the history of how you got to this car and things like that. We kind of jumped into the mods because there's got a lot of nice things in here we want to talk about. So maybe going back a little bit, what made you want to get a G87 M2?
That's a good question. I've had F87s. I've had an F80. I used to work for BMW, and I've seen all these cars, and I've seen the lineage of them and how they've developed. And it really boiled down to is I saw all the cars kind of shifting away from what BMW was like historically known for.
Mm-hmm.
And when this one came around and it was ugly, I felt like they checked all the boxes and everybody hated it. It's like, you want kidney grills, we gave you kidney grills. You want rear arches, we gave you rear arches. You want a manual transmission, we gave you, and just nothing. For me, it checked all the boxes. I knew the vision that I had. And when I saw the first couple renders of it, I threw up in my mouth. And after that, I had this. I woke up the next day and it's like, this is what I need.
That's awesome.
And then manufacturers started to have the same vision.
Yeah.
And it just all kind of comes along. But in working at the dealership level and corporate, you see all sorts of different car culture. You see the corporate side of it, and then you see like the car culture side of it.
Yeah.
So I think this is a really good meeting of the minds, so to speak.
It's great value too, in terms of what you get. Manual, 6-speed, 450 horsepower,
It's a good
rear-wheel
point.
drive.
There's a reason why I went this way and not say a G80.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to have I wanted the summer beater.
Yeah.
And if you're getting an all-wheel drive comp, you know what, the budget's not necessarily the same. So for say 40 grand less,
yeah,
well, now you have 40 grand's worth of options and add-ons you can throw at the car.
That's, yeah. I mean, the same justification I've had
different
too,
perspective.
Yeah, exactly.
But for me, that was really kind of what made me gravitate towards this particular car. But BMW in general, I think everybody's always wanted that sporting drive.
Yeah.
Like you kind of fit into that demographic. I don't know, I'm not ready to be driven in a Benz, and
yeah,
don't
want to feel like an old man yet, eh?
I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
And like there's a 7 Series for me in that situation.
Yeah. Well, would you consider this a forever car?
Honestly,
you had to think of that.
Yeah, like if there's more than one car, yes. If it's the one car, no. Like this car is the weekend car. This is the car you take to the track. This is the car you can take the kids to ice cream. This car does everything so well, but what I've done to this car and the way you've asked that, it's not the forever car because I have a young daughter. I need the back seat.
Yep.
Practicality wise, it's just not the most practical car. So I think it's the right car for me right now. And I think the Porsche is on the way.
Oh, well, we'll talk about that in a minute. In terms of practicality, well, yeah. I mean, you take out the back seats, you kind of kill the practicality a little bit.
Yeah, she's gone. Well, and then I don't have the flexibility of the front seat. So if I even wanted to get into the back seat,
you wouldn't be able to.
I actually have to crawl in through the center because I can't fit through here.
Your daughter is young enough. Yeah, but there are no seats now.
It's like, I could probably, it might even be easier to do it through the trunk at this point.
That's awesome. Next up, what else is in the fleet?
So the fleet next up, so this is a tough question. We've gone into this a little bit off camera, but I imagine realistically it'll probably be a GTS. I'm really just looking to see what they're going to be doing with the 4S and the 4 in terms of the turbo intercooler. I know the GTS just came out with the hybrid, and it's, I feel like there's going to be a dip. I've been waiting for this dip.
Maybe it's not going to happen.
It might. I don't know. We say this about the housing market.
Yep.
And it's just kind of the sad reality of things. So I might just have to bite the bullet and just do it.
YOLO. You live once.
Oh yeah, YOLO. Why not a GT3 then?
Yes, exactly.
Pay $100K markup for a GT3. That might be the best.
Just have to convince your wife and your kids, and then it'll be all right.
There's ways of doing it. You can barter. You can barter with the spouses.
We'll keep this one short. I really appreciate you taking the time walking us through this car.
Yeah.
It's amazing. There's a lot of inspiration for a lot of other G87 owners, and I can't wait to see what else you do with it before you get rid of it.
Thank you. I've got a couple more plans.
Oh.
So we'll wait to see what those lie with, but yeah, she's still gonna be around for a little bit. There's a couple more months, and I don't want to be the same as everybody else. I like trying to pioneer the platform a little bit, and I think that's really that's why we connected initially. Is you try to pioneer a platform, you get really invested in it, and you find other minds like yourself that you want to share that experience with.
Yeah.
And it's so amazing that we have all these car communities now. Like you have your page and the amount of followers that engage with you every day, and me, and it's cool to have those little pockets of friends follow you around.
Actually, before we close up, what is the main purpose of this car? Like, what is the inspiration for the build? It's definitely not OEM plus.
It actually was like Skunk Works.
Yeah.
So back when the 1M came around, or the M1, whatever you want to call it, it's basically everybody took parts bin, parts, built a car. And then marketing, and this is internal, like this is a thing, internal figured that out and extended their parts book to basically make cars so consumers could now do this.
Yeah.
And they've done it, and we've done it.
Yeah.
So it's gotten now to a point where everybody has a really good looking BMW.
Yeah.
And you have to do a little bit more
to stand out.
To stand out, but to feel unique. Like it's not enough to put $100K in a car. It still doesn't represent you enough. So there's, I don't know. This is a way of me kind of expressing myself at 35 years old. Really.
Yeah. No,
so
it's really good. Yeah, I agree. Same with me. I mean, for you, you've got your Instagram page. You're trying to get a following on there as well. That's what, Click ID?
Yeah. People are welcome to follow me there. It's more of just kind of an experience. I'm semi-retired right now, so I don't really try to do this for like monetization or.
It's for the passion.
It's these conversations here. It's the cars and coffee around the corner. It's MPAC that's down in Pennsylvania. It's the pilgrimages. It's the team and the camaraderie that you get.
Yep.
That you had as a child that you kind of seek as an adult.
I'm looking forward to Impact as well.
It's going to be amazing this year.
Well, thank you very much, Nick. Appreciate you taking the time.
Absolutely.
Let's wrap this up. All right, so there you go. A quick Car Stories episode, a little different. The reason why we're doing this is because I'm in Toronto for a couple of days and Nick is out in Niagara Falls. So we thought we'd connect up and make a quick video highlighting his car. Didn't have a lot of my gear, so we're doing the best we can. Hope you all enjoy. Like, subscribe, do all those things, and we'll see you in the next one. Thank you all.
Bye.